My name is Barb Bruno, and I'm so excited that you're here. Isn't it incredible how work, the workforce, and the workplace just continue to change? Hiring, engaging, and retaining top talent is extremely challenging worldwide. And that's why your expertise and the services you offer are needed more than ever. But how can you train your team when faced with these rapid changes? The solution to that challenge is what I plan to show you today. Think about a turnkey, comprehensive, online, self-paced training program that also constantly upgrades through live weekly training calls and coaching calls, where your team can ask questions and get solutions to problems instantly. Now, I think a picture is worth 1,000 words, so I plan to stop talking for a while and turn my screen over to Jody Svedich, who will show you a brief overview of this amazing training resource. Jody, the floor is all yours.
That sounds great. Thanks, Barb. I wanted to make sure that companies are aware of first of the courses that are available to them within this training program. What Barb has developed is basically online courses that are delivered as videos. They are self-paced. They allow the user the opportunity to take notes. They also have testing involved where the individual would be tested throughout the program in order to proceed through the lesson. So I wanted to kind of show you the 6 courses that are available to you. There's 2 courses for direct hire, there's 2 courses for contract staffing, and there's 2 courses for temporary staffing. You obviously would select the course that is most applicable to the needs of your organization. Basically, how the courses are delivered is everyone would have this main menu over here to the left. You would simply click the courses tab as a user to see which courses are assigned to you. So based on whatever you've purchased, that's what you and your users would see. So for example, if you've purchased, let's say, the contract staffing recruiting tutor, we can go ahead and click into that. And what you're going to see basically is the lessons are going to be self-paced. So you're able to go in and complete as many lessons as you want. We do not recommend that you take more than 2 to 3 lessons a day just for the sake of retaining the information. But basically what you're going to see is it will start out with a brief video introduction. The lessons range anywhere from probably 10 minutes, the shortest lesson, up to about 30 minutes for the longest lesson. Some lessons will offer 2 videos like this one. You see this one is 6 minutes and 5 seconds. This one is 5 minutes and 19 seconds. And then basically once you have finished watching the videos, you can go ahead and complete the lesson and move on to the next one. We have also included with the videos the written content because we have found that a lot of individuals do like to follow along. So what you'll notice is directly under the videos, as I'm scrolling, this is the written content of what Barb is saying during this particular lesson. Now, I mentioned earlier that we do recommend that you take notes. Every lesson is going to have this recommended at the bottom. We want you to click your notes, type in the things that you've learned and how you're going to implement that into your daily routine. So it's kind of your accountability factor so that you get the best results from the training. The notes are found with this icon down here to the right. If you type your notes in here, you will then be able to review any lessons that you've completed thus far, and they will also include the notes that you've saved here at the end of each lesson. Now, what you're also going to see in this particular lesson is the testing. There is a test here on this lesson. So basically with the testing, it is multiple choice. And again, you have as much time as you need to complete the testing. However, there is a requirement that you have to score an 80% or higher to continue to the next lesson. So owners and managers would know that if anyone is continuing through the program and not stopping, that they're passing their testing. So again, if you don't pass, it would just basically re-administer the test to you. So it's that accountability factor to make sure that you get your biggest return on the investment. So basically with the lessons, I'm going to go ahead back to the courses tab so that you can look at the lessons once more. Okay, so the tutors that you have available to you are these 6 here, and they can be purchased on our Good as Gold training website, but we'll revisit that again a little bit later. In addition to these courses, what we do offer them, any users that are in the system, is participation in the events that we host. Barb is an excellent trainer, as many of you already know. Very enthusiastic, very passionate about delivering training to the users within our program. So what we do is once a week, we offer live training webinars. And with those webinars, they're delivered through GoToWebinar. They're typically about 30 minutes in length. And then the remainder of the call, once the topic has been discussed and presented, is spent on Q&A. So Barb would open up the lines and allow users to ask questions regarding that particular session, or if they just had questions that they wanted to address to or ask of Barb, following, they can do that. So again, we record everything we do. So if you are unable to come here to the events tab and register for these particular events, it's okay, because by default, we put everything, there's a library tab up here on the main menu as well, and we'll visit that in just a moment. But everything we do is recorded and stored in the library. So if you cannot attend the live call, you can feel free to come into the library and listen to the recording. Now, the first training webinar that we do each month is exclusively for owners and managers. So when an owner or manager is logged in, they'll see that invitation, members will not. Now, the second, third, and fourth Wednesday of each month, we do a call for everybody. So your whole entire team that's in the training program would be invited. And then when there is that fifth Wednesday throughout the year, we do another owner manager call.
Jody,
Again,
if I can interject one thing before you continue, I can't stand not talking.
Sure.
Another thing I want to mention here is your team really learns a lot of additional information by the questions other people are asking me. And I think it helps your team, because sometimes you might have the top producer in your office is doing a certain level, and now they're listening to somebody that is doing twice as much as they're doing. And so those questions that other people are asking is also a great training resource, because they're going to learn. Sometimes they even say to me, I didn't even know to ask you that question. So I think I just wanted to interject that there. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're fine. Absolutely. And I think that happens a lot on the coaching calls as well, too, Barb. In addition to the live training webinars that we do every Wednesday, every other Monday, we do a training coaching call. And with the coaching call, there's not a topic that we discuss. Barb literally gets on the phone and says, what are your questions? And because we're using GoToWebinar and we record everything, individuals can either raise their hand and speak with her directly, or they can type in their questions and Barb will answer the questions that way. If they wish to remain anonymous, they can just simply type the word anonymous and type in their question. And then that way Barb will not address them by their name. But again, that's a really good opportunity to ask any questions that you have and to learn from what other people are asking. So the events are definitely an added bonus in addition to the courses that are offered throughout this training program. Now, I mentioned earlier that everything we do is stored in the library. With the events, those calls will land in the library eventually. We do only post 1 month of events at a time. So that way individuals can also make topic suggestions. So if your team really has a need, something that you would like Barb to address in a future topic, by all means, we want you to email support or use this instant messaging here down at the bottom right corner of the program to make any requests that you have. Obviously, Barb brings her knowledge to those calls as well and determines what some of those topics should be and things that we should be learning. But again, we do want to hear from our users, so make sure you take advantage of that. Going to the library, I'm going to go ahead and click that button on the main menu. When you go into the library, you're going to find all of the previously recorded calls that we've done. So for example, if we've done a training webinar and it has something to do with increased production and sales, or something to do with recruiting, or something to do with sourcing, you're going to find them underneath these different sections. What you're also going to find here in the library are articles that Barb has written for various publications. So when she does write something, we go ahead and post it under the appropriate topic. So again, it's a good place for individuals to come to receive additional training or to listen to things that they may have missed that have taken place. So for example, if I go into increased sales and production as our topic, you're going to see first the articles that Barb has written, but then over here are all the previously recorded sessions that we've done. Now, from day one, when you invest in the tutor, you have access to all of these training webinars. So you'll see there's 4 pages of webinars just simply on increased profits and sales videos alone. So once you click into this, you would see a handout that you can print. And then you would also see, obviously, the live webinar that you can listen to. So the library is a great resource. The other thing that the library is also a great resource for, in addition to the articles and the training webinars, are the forms. For every tutor that your company purchases, you'll have access to the forms that relate to that particular tutor. So for example, if you buy direct hire client development tutor, you'd be able to click in and see all the forms that relate to that particular program. Now, for each form, we do give a brief description, We give it to you in a document format that you can actually save on your end and edit and make it your own. But then we also explain the benefits of each form. So you can see here, there's all the different forms that you can download. Now, obviously I'm screening fast because this is a demo and I know your time is sensitive and important. So I want to make sure that we kind of click through this quickly, but there are a lot of forms that are available for each individual course. So you want to make sure you go into the library and take a peek at those forms once you've purchased a tutor. Now, something else that I want to show you is just the profile. This is a typical profile that you would see on any kind of website. It offers all your account information, the opportunity to add your photo, to change, your screen name. It also shows you your team licenses. So when you purchase a tutor, you're going to purchase team licenses for that particular tutor, and then all your users would be listed. And then as an owner or manager, you actually have the capability of tracking the status of your team. So you'll be able to see what lesson each user is on, what percentage of lessons they have completed. Obviously, you'll know that they're passing tests because they'll be able to proceed with the training. And then once they've graduated, they actually receive a certificate. So they will get they'll receive the certificate on their end and can print that out when they're done. But you do have the ability through the team licenses tab here under the profile to manage your team. Now, as far as purchasing tutors, I do want to mention something to you, because what we do is we basically offer you the first tutor at regular price. And then once you become a tutor client, you're able to purchase the tutor programs at discounted prices from your dashboard. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the dashboard so we can visit that very quickly. Now, the tutors, you're going to go to our Good as Gold training website to purchase those, but this is still the membership website. So you're going to notice it shows the full price of the tutor here, which is $18.97. That's a one-time charge, and then it's reduced. So you'll see $500 off because you're a client. So any future tutors that you purchase from us would be offered at that $500 discount. Now, for your first initial purchase, you can go to the Good as Gold training website. It's goodasgoldtraining.com. And then once you're there, you're just simply going to click on the store. I already have that page pulled up. And then basically all the tutors are listed here, and you can obtain information about each tutor. For example, if you wanted to see the content outline for one of the programs, for example, the contract staffing sales tutor, you could click learn more. It's going to give you the option to print the course outline. So it will show you actually the details for each and every lesson in that particular tutor program. So you can scroll through and kind of see how this content fits within your makeup. Now, I will tell you, we have companies that are extremely small, one-man shops working out of their homes. Then we have larger organizations or franchises that use this as well. So there really is kind of a wide variety. Now, as far as the lessons are concerned, as I mentioned earlier, they are self-paced. They do roughly take about anywhere from 10 minutes up to that 30 minutes. And again, we don't recommend that you take more than one tutor at a time, and that you take only up to about 3 lessons per day in order to retain the information. But again, when you're coming into this website, you're also able to purchase. So if you go back to, let me see if I can go there. Okay, so if you add it to cart, it will show you what's all included in the sale, and then you can go through with your order by clicking the order now button. But remember, in order to get the savings and the client discount, once you purchase that first tutor, you can then purchase any additional tutors from the membership website here. Now, Barb, I know you're still on the line. I don't know if there's anything you'd like to add, but again, it's a wonderful program. We receive tremendous feedback from it, from all of our users. So you can only benefit and have things to gain from this.
Right, I'd like you to go back to the screen prior to this, Jody, where they could add to cart or look at the outlines, because that gives your name and it gives our telephone number. You can see the number on there, and you can also see Jody's email address. Jody is our VP of sales. And one thing I want you to understand, and the reason I had her do this demo, was she was one of my biggest billers and one of my top producers. And then a couple of years ago, I said, I need somebody in my training company that understands how a recruiter thinks, that understands how a client development person thinks, a salesperson thinks, who has managed people. So I had Jody switch over to the top producer tutor, and she is our key contact. She's our VP of sales in our training company. But if you've got specific questions, like if you've got questions before you actually want to purchase, you've got our office phone number on there. You've got Jody's email address. But the greatest thing I can tell you is we have not had one person. This is a brand new learning management system. All of these materials were developed in the last 12 months. And then when we went to load them on our system, what happened was the videos took a lot more bandwidth than the last training programs we had that were not video. And LinkedIn Learning had taught me that, people don't want to read, they just want to watch videos. And so we had to develop a completely new learning management system. But I'm telling you, the feedback we're getting is everyone is experiencing greater sales, greater profits if you're an owner, and your people are making more money. And so I think there's three things that really impact all of us. It's decisions we make and the actions we take and the results we get. So look at the results you're getting from everyone that works for you and look at your bottom line. Because if you want to improve that, the two things you can change are the decisions you make and the actions you take. And I would like to recommend that a decision that would be very smart for you to make is to invest in this program. And the action you take is to get your team in here. Because again, this is turnkey. You can be involved and look at what they're doing, or you can just turn this over to your team and it's self-done. So you don't have to be involved. This actually has replaced corporate trainers with several very large companies. They now use our tutor. And both Jody and I would love to welcome you as our newest client. And again, if you have any questions at all, my whole mission in life is to make other people attain a greater level of success. And I would love, and so would Jody, we would both love to welcome you as our newest client. So please either call us, email Jody, or then go to the Good as Gold website and click on store. And again, we would love to interact with both you and your team. And we really appreciate the time you took today. Jody, do you want to add anything?
I just would like to add that from time to time, we do offer special discounts. So when you contact us, please do ask if we have any coupons available.
Perfect. And we do coupons on the seats as well. So, again, any questions, please reach out. All of you have a great day and we hope you're having a record year and we would love to become part of your success story. Thanks, everybody.